Hey y'all, I'm PJ McKay and this is my husband, Thomas McKay. We are two guys that love everything home and family related. So if you are new to our channel, you are in the right place if you like that kind of stuff.
We are foster parents to 3 adorable little kiddos, and we are also home renovators.
I have been renovating properties for over 12 or 13 years now. I was also a licensed real estate agent for about 7 or 8 years, but just retired my license because we were so busy with all of the projects that we have going on that I couldn't take on any clients. This video is a year in the making. A little over a year ago, we bought a very small wood shop in the historic district of the town that we live in. I had the vision of turning that wood shop into a small cottage. I think we began the renovations in the fall of 2019. And we're gonna take you guys on the journey of renovating the wood shop to the cottage. In 2019, the wood shop was listed for sale along with another house as a package deal. I reached out to the seller to see if they would sell just the wood shop since it was on its own lot. And originally they were like, no, I don't think I wanna do that. And then within a month, they came back and said that they would sell it. We are walking to a house that we made an offer on. We found out that they accepted our verbal offer, but to make it official, we have to write it up and send it to them. So hopefully they sign the offer and we are officially under contract. But if we do get it, we have big plans for it for you guys. Anyways, that's enough for now. The vision for the wood shop was to turn it into a short-term rental. That was the plan. We bought it in September of 2019 and then began renovations immediately. When we bought the cottage, it was definitely cute, don't get me wrong, but it was not the vision that I think we both had in mind. We had recently visited Amsterdam and fell in love with a lot of the colors that were over there. And one color in particular that stood out to us was this really dark, moody, like black green color, and it had like a creamy white trim. That's it. That's the color that we're gonna do on the cottage. It's perfect. Yeah. We tested out a few different versions of that color when we got back home, picked one and was in love with it. But I think we ended up spending over like $300 on test paint just to get the color right. Thomas almost finished painting the back of the house, but we're really feeling like the color is not the right color. So we put up another test color, which is right here, which comes across more green.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
Yeah, it was worth it. We almost went with a completely different shade of the green. This is gorgeous back here, but I think it's just a little bit too black. It's green, but it looks a little too black. It was, well, I say different. It was similar to, like if somebody else had looked at it, they would have been like, that's the same color, but anyways, but yeah.
All right, so before we go any further, why don't we take a moment to talk about the sponsor of today's video.
I am planting some trees in the backyard. I've had these in pots for a year to let them get a little bit bigger. This one I accidentally got some paint on when I was painting the most recent reno house.
Well, love that. Love it so much, but it's time to talk about our sponsor. Like we mentioned, today's video is sponsored by our friends over at Regions Bank, member FDIC. You guys know that we have been working with them for the last couple of months, and I'm gonna go inside. I find out here. One of the reasons that we love working with Region so much is because of their commitment and their dedication to helping people achieve their financial goals, whatever that looks like for them. You know, whether that is saving money, investing money, budgeting, and especially that last one, budgeting, that is something huge for PJ and I, especially PJ. He is the budgeter of the family, and his ways have really rubbed off on me in the last few years, especially with the renovating and the flipping. PJ is always coming up with budgets that we really need to stick to. Otherwise, we will go over our spending limit and it just won't be good for anyone. So all that to say, that is why we love Regions so much. But today what we want to touch on when it comes to Regions is their Now banking and the Regions Now card, which is a prepaid reloadable Visa Now card that allows you to smartly and conveniently manage your money your way. The Visa Now card is safer and more convenient than cash, and it's easy to use virtually anywhere Visa debit cards are accepted. Plus, and this is a big plus, there are no overdraft fees. So if you're a person who likes to or wants to manage your money and control your spending, then the Visa Now card is really for you. It has flexible options for loading funds. You can apply for the Regions Now card online. You can schedule an appointment with a Regions banker. A couple other cool features of the Regions Now card is that you can earn optional cash back through the Regions Cashback Rewards program. You can easily add your card to Apple Pay, Google Pay, LG Pay, or Samsung Pay to make payments with your phone. It's really just a way for you to stay in control of your money. I know that for me personally, something like this would have really come in handy when I was younger and me and PJ did not share a bank account because I was not the best at budgeting or controlling my spending. But that's what I love about the Visa Now card. You know, you do your budget and you come up with the amount of money that you feel comfortable spending or that you have to spend each month, and you put that money on the Visa Now card. And that allows you to stay within your budget, which in turn allows you to save more money and build up your savings and stay organized and stay on top of things, because there really is such a comfort in having control over your money, no matter how much money you make or don't make. There's such a peace of mind when you, like I said, take control of your money. And Regions is very big on helping you to achieve that. So I could literally go on and on about this topic all day, but if you guys want to find out more information on Regions and the Regions Now card, you can check out the link in our description below. Once again, we want to give a huge thank you to our friends at Regions Bank member FDIC for sponsoring today's video. Why don't we get back to the rest of the video?
One of the first steps in getting the cottage up and running was to get it hooked up to its own electricity and water. We had electric lines ran underground to the house along with the water lines.
That's always the part of the renovation that is like my least favorite. PJ is so good about handling all of that, and I am not a fan, but that's okay.
I hired a framing crew and they framed in the back porch. When we bought the wood shop, it was only like 700 square feet. And so by closing in the back porch, I added an additional square footage that I think brings it up to around 1,000 square feet total. The plan was to have a bunk bed room and a dining room off of the kitchen. And we also began demolition on the inside of the wood shop at the same time. During this time, we were going back and forth on different layouts because we really wanted it to be perfect.
Because the cottage is so small, we really wanted to come up with a layout that utilized every square inch of that place, because storage is going to be tricky. Positioning furniture was going to be tricky because of the existing layout already. So PJ would spend hours over there.
Well, and also just sitting at the kitchen table, drawing out the layout over and over.
I am still working on the layout. Thomas is making popcorn. The camera is dirty.
Yes, PJ's like, his specialty is layouts. He's very good at coming up with different layouts. He obsesses over them.
I wouldn't say specialty, but I enjoy doing it. I am over at the cottage. This will be the toilet wall. So I'm wanting it to be more like back here because you're gonna be sitting down. Shower, it's gonna be on this side. Vanity here.
Yeah, your, maybe I should say your interests.
It's almost like a puzzle, putting it together and like, oh, nope, that won't work because that has to go there and blah, blah, blah. So I've gotten this wall pretty much ready for them to take the window out and then reframe a case opening. But now that I have it open and I measured what the staircase is, I'm trying to decide if I want to move the staircase over to this side, because I know I'm moving that door over to the corner, which will allow the staircase to be here. So the door would basically be like a couple inches off of this corner. Originally we were moving this over so we could do a stackable washer right there. But it may make more sense for the stackable washer to go here beside the refrigerator cabinet. I don't know, but I have to know by tomorrow.
Yeah, like figuring it out and solving the equation, if you will. So PJ would come up with these layouts, and then we would go over there together and kind of talk through them. And, you know, what if this went here, and what if the kitchen was here? At one point we completely flipped the layout, and the kitchen was on the opposite side of where it ended up going. So I think that's something that we both like to do, is brainstorm layouts and then toss ideas around and kind of see what we can come up with.
Once we made it past closing in the back porch and framing in the interior walls for the new layout, it was time to begin the rough ends for electricity and water and HVAC. And I think we made it up to HVAC at the end of February, which brought us into the beginning of March. And then we had a global pandemic. As of today, the
The World Health Organization.
WHO, I know.
Oh,
WHO announced that, or they stated
declared
that it was a pandemic.
Yeah.
With the coronavirus. I don't know about you guys, I'm somewhat concerned about it. As soon as the pandemic happened, we stopped working on the house and took 6 months off. So did absolutely nothing on the house, did not bring any of the contractors back to finish their work, stayed home, and it was a very, very long 6 months. We finally realized after 6 months of just having the house sit there that we had to start working on it again. So we brought everyone back to finish the rough ends, we insulated the house, and then we brought in a crew to do the drywall and the paint, and the fun things started to begin, as Thomas would say.
Exactly. They painted the stairs, and we went with this tan. Well, it's a little more white than tan, but loving the way it's looking.
I really do love how they turned out.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I do too. Perfect.
We are delivering the dishwasher.
Wow. What a man. That is my favorite part. It's the
Picking out the finishings.
yeah, exactly. The design aspect, I mean, that's something that we both enjoy so much. We are constantly looking online for inspiration photos and just saving, you know, tons of photos. And then, like PJ mentioned, whenever we went to Amsterdam, that was a huge inspiration for us. So it was like we had finally made it to this point where we can start implementing all of the ideas that we had in our head design-wise and getting those out. It was really cool to finally see the color choices that we chose and the cabinets that PJ designed and picked out. I feel like at that point, everything started moving a lot faster. I feel like there's always a really slow period in renovating.
Yeah.
And then once those things that PJ mentioned started happening, it just kind of snowballed from there and started really picking up. The hardwood floors just got laid.
We did a combination of red oak and white oak, and the reason why we did that was because we got a really awesome deal on it. Also, during the pandemic, we decided that we were gonna sell the house and that we were not gonna keep it. So we had that in the back of our minds moving forward, that we needed to get it finished so that we could sell it. I think there was some uncertainty about what was gonna happen with the market, and we are currently in a really good housing market in the area that we live in. We wanted to sell it before it became an issue as far as like having to keep it and keep up the expenses of having another house. So I think that was important for us, was to like pick a deadline and get this thing finished so that we can get it sold.
So during this time, my mom was also thinking about listing her house and selling it and significantly downsizing. Like so many people last year, my mom ended up losing her job because of the virus. And so she was really looking for simplicity, I think, and almost like a fresh start. She was looking for a new job. She was thinking about selling her house. And so it was a period of transition for her. I don't remember how it even started. Did you bring up the idea?
I remember being at the wood shop. It was after like the drywall was up and you could kind of see what it was gonna look like. She made a comment about maybe joking that that'd be perfect for her. And I was like, well, if you want to buy it, we'll sell it to you for what we have in it. And and it kind of, I think it just grew from that. I think that planted the seed in Lila's head, and then she started thinking about it more. And I remember we had another conversation later, and it was, were you serious about that? would you really do that? And obviously I would.
I, for one, never thought that she would go for it because she has so much stuff. She's like a borderline hoarder. Yeah.
I would say organized hoarder. It's very organized.
Yes, for sure. She just likes to keep stuff, like random things. She'll just keep and put it in a box and put it in the attic and won't look at it for 20 years. In my mind, I was like, yeah, that's a fun idea. I doubt it'll ever happen. I know my mom. I don't think she'll ever go for this. But it was something that she kind of started bringing up more and more. And then she started getting interested in like, well, so what is the hardware finishing going to be? Now, what color is the bathroom going to be? What's the tile like in here? And so then I think at that point we were like, okay, this could happen.
Yeah.
And she could do this.
And then it happened. She said, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then she got me to list her house for sale. So we did that. That took a little, I think maybe when she decided that she was gonna move forward with the cottage, it took a month to get her house listed or ready to list. And we listed it. The next day we were under contract on the house with an out-of-town buyer, which always makes me nervous as a realtor because they had not seen the house in person. They had only seen it in photos and like a virtual tour. Like 3 days later, they came up to see the house when they did the home inspection, and that night they terminated the contract. Lila was devastated. I was devastated.
Yeah.
She decided to pull her house off the market and not to move forward with the cottage, which was sad.
It was kind of sad for everyone involved because I think that we realized what this house could mean for her. Like I mentioned, it could have been a fresh start for her. It would allow her to downsize. You know, all of her kids were all older now, so we all moved out of the house. She did not need as big of a house as she lived in. And so it was kind of a hard few weeks, and it was kind of uncomfortable to talk about, and like we weren't sure what to do and she wasn't sure what to do, and it was kind of like starting all over.
After hiring a few experts to come in and take a look at her house, it turned out that there were no major issues with her house. She fixed the things that needed to be fixed. She started a new career as a realtor, and she listed the house herself, and I think had it under contract either like that first week that it was on the market, maybe it was the first day.
48 hours after.
Or 2 days.
Yeah.
Got it under contract, had a closing date, and it was set to close in like 45 days. And so she was back in on buying the cottage. Once Lila made it past the inspection period, and we knew that basically it was a done deal as long as all the paperwork went through, which usually that happens once you're past inspection phase and appraisal, you're good to go. When we had the clear on that, Thomas and I decided that we wanted to start staging the house so that she could see it for the first time in probably 2 months. When the contract fell through, when I had it listed, she didn't come back over to the cottage, and the kitchen cabinets had not been installed, the countertops, the floors weren't finished. So, I mean, it really was a completely different house from the last time that she saw it.
Me and the kiddos just got to my mom's house because we're gonna grab a few things, bring them over to her new cottage and kind of stage it a little bit. Nothing too crazy. We don't have as much time as we thought we would or as much time as we want. So we're just gonna stage it a little bit, kind of make it feel more like home for her. And then we're gonna do the reveal later on today. We are so excited. We have a lot of work to do, so let's get to it.
You are not taking a picture of me. Thomas, don't!
I am in the process of loading a bunch of art and plants and some mirrors and more art into the back of the cruiser right now, and then I'm gonna head to the cottage and set everything up. My mom and sister are graciously watching the kiddos, taking them for a walk, leaving me time to do this. I'm out of breath. PJ's at the cottage right now. He's setting up some last minute things that need to be done. So we're making some progress.
I have been like stressed over this shower upstairs because it's a rain head shower and it's at an angle, and they do not make, to my knowledge or the plumber's knowledge, any fittings that will make the angle to close it off. So I had to buy like 5 and fix it to where I could get a flange up here.
Looks really good.
Note to self, never do an angled rain head shower. Thomas's mom had these really pretty bird prints. The gold to me is significantly wrong. So I'm going to put some black paint on the gold to just kind of tone it down some. Just need to be warmed up a bit.
Slowly but surely, we're starting to move some of the bigger pieces in to bring over to stage with the lovely help of my sister Sydney.
She's the design apprentice.
Whenever we did the pilot for HGTV that aired 3 years ago, Sydney was our design assistant. So
I learned so much.
she learned so much. She can design all the homes. She's the best assistant.
All of it. I'm so strong. But also, running. I'll wait.
I'm tired. I need coffee. So it's getting down to the wire. We are like probably 80% finished. The weather's not really cooperating with us today. It's very wet and rainy. Not the ideal situation for a reveal, but we're getting pictures hung up on the wall. And by we, I of course mean my loving husband, PJ. You know PJ, right?
By we, I mean tea. By tea, I mean me. I mean, oh, look how cozy he is. Look how cozy he is.
So my mom had all of these portraits done of us whenever we were, my brother and my sisters were younger. And PJ had them, bought frames for them a couple years ago for my mom for Christmas. And he wants to put them right here when you first walk in. I love how that's going to look.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right, we are taking a quick lunch break. It's a little late for lunch, but we're hungry. We're gonna take a quick break, head home, and then my mom and my younger sister are gonna meet us at the cottage for the reveal. It is pouring down rain. Again, not ideal, but what are you gonna do?
We are on the way to reveal the cottage to Thomas's mom, Lila. We're really excited for her to see it. We're gonna get there a little bit earlier than her so we can straighten up. We spent the first part of the day lightly staging it with her furniture. We didn't buy anything.
She has a couple cute pieces, so it kind of worked out well for us. I hate that it's raining. I hate it so much. It's so wet and muddy.
The driveway's not finished yet, and it's a swamp.
I'm nervous. I think she's gonna love it. Okay, we just got to the cottage. We have like 20 minutes until they get here. I have to sweep all the floors. PJ, what are you doing? And PJ's bringing stuff down. Here we go.
So they are here. They're on the front porch waiting for us to do some last minute things.
I thought that they were early when they pulled up, but time got away from us and they were actually right on time. Okay. Here's our setup to record the reactions. I forgot the mop and the vacuum. So all of this would have gone a lot quicker had we had that.
Lila got this painting at an estate sale.
So extra.
This is going to be her bedroom, but I think it's perfect.
It's fun.
Will you touch the stairs as we go down too?
Okay, you ready? All right, Mom, you can come in. You can make your mask out.
I can?
Sure. Can you believe that this is your new home?